Shooting outdoors in remote locations can be one of the most challenging tasks, especially when it comes to gear selection. Check out this teaser and I'll show you how I did it.
It seems like everything's been done and finding something new and special is a daunting task. There's a certain amount of joy in throwing yourself into the unknown, putting everything on the line and risking everything to hopefully get that reward that you're looking for.
What's up YouTube, Jacques Crafford here with another fun tutorial. And in this video I'm going to break down how I shot this hiking film with freedom of movement and Janik Alheit. What you just saw is only a teaser, so make sure you check out the main film for more context. Now first things first, I opted for the Sony A7sIII Mark III paired with only one lens without any extra attachments. I've been using bigger rigs a lot more lately, but only within context of the shoot. And I always ask myself this one question: will the extra bulk give me better results? In this case, the reasoning behind the simple setup is because we had to hike and camp for a total of 3 days to cover all the locations. This means you have to carry your tent, food, warm clothes and still have space for camera gear. I did use a gimbal on 2 occasions, but the shots were very specific, so I didn't have to carry it around assembled. With me playing director and DOP, I wasn't going to let anything slow me down. I didn't see the need for an external monitor, and the out-of-the-box performance of the A7S Mark III and small form factor with an EVF was a perfect fit. This was also the first time I used a mist filter on a commercial job. I've been hesitant to use mist filters for a bunch of reasons, but mostly because prior to variable ND mist filters coming out, I just couldn't see myself breaking the 180-degree shutter rule. For this shoot, I used a Freewell 2-5 hard stop V&D mist filter with an 82mm thread. Using only one lens meant I never had to take the filter off and I could simply turn the ring to change the exposure. I've been using the normal Freewell 2-5 stop V&D for months now and I'm super satisfied with the color performance. The Freewell V&D mist has a pretty strong diffusion, sitting around the quarter mark, so it's not something I'll use for every single shoot, but in this case, the level of highlight bloom was exactly what I was looking for, so I'm super happy with the results. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I'm pretty vocal about how effective autofocus is these days. This entire film was shot on a 24-70mm f2.8G master using autofocus, and I'll just highlight 2 of my favorite scenes. The first is using the tracker. As you can see, by simply tapping on the subject, the tracker is able to follow him as he walks through the scene. This B shot was filmed at 120 frames per second, and I'm stunned at how well the autofocus works at these high frame rates. Something only the Sonys can do at this stage. When compared with the actual speed it was filmed, you start appreciating this feature a lot more. This was also the only shot I did in slow motion, as the rest of the film was all in normal 25 frames per second. I have to admit, there was a time where I got completely caught up in shooting at higher frame rates, but I've fallen in love with normal speed again, and I've learned to be more intentional about the frame rates I choose. The natural motion blur that comes with the 180-degree shutter angle is really pleasing on the eye and worked well with the pace of this film. Lighting wise, I went all natural, and just like my previous outdoor films, we used only one 5-in-1 reflector. In this scene you can see how I'm adjusting the reflector from full strength to no strength to find that middle ground of half strength. The full strength is overpowering and makes the shot look unnatural, where the half strength adds just enough fill to compete with the strong backlight. I'm also filling in from the side and not directly from the front, to get the light to wrap in more gradually and still retain some depth in the face with shadows. The value that a 5-in-1 reflector can add to a shoot like this is almost a crime if you consider how cheap they go for. I simply don't go anywhere without one of these in my bag. Talking about my bag, I've been using the f-stop Timelapse for almost 4 years now, and it's incredible how well it still holds up. This bag has been through some of the craziest conditions and has always kept my gear dry and safe. From tropical storms to blizzards and muddy jungles, I have yet to find a bag that is more comfortable to hike with, but is a fully functional camera bag to be used in all situations. On the last morning, there was this moment where it started raining out of the blue. I mean, the sun was still shining. And when I say rain, I mean it started pouring. My drone was up in the air, but it was really far out, so I tried to bring it in before it got too wet. Thankfully it survived, and the reward was a beautiful rainbow over our campsite. What a way to end things off. On that note, this is where I say goodbye. If you enjoyed this film, please leave a comment and a like. If you have any more questions, please shout and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.